Good morning, students. All. Last class we finished problem number 11. Problem number 12 we will continue. An electron and a proton are detected in cosmic ray experiment. The first with kinetic energy of 10 kilo electron volt, second with 100 keV. Which is faster, the electron or the proton? They gave kinetic energy, they are asking the velocities. Okay, and find the ratio of the speeds. Okay, so and they gave mass of the electron is how much, mass of the proton is how much, 1 electron volt is equal to how much they gave. So write the given quantities. So problem number 12, mass of the proton, how much they gave? 1.67 into 10 power minus 27 kg. This is mass of the proton. They gave mass of the electron also. This value 9.11 into 10 power minus 31 kg. This is mass of the electron. Next, we will find velocity of the proton. We will find velocity of the electron using that for proton. First, Ke is equal to how much they gave? Proton Ke will be first with means kinetic proton 100 keV. So 100 into 1 kilo means 10 cube. 1 electron volt is 1.6 into 10 power minus 19. So this value 1.6 into 10 power, this is 5, 10 power minus 14 joules. Okay, you calculate the velocity. So half m p vp square, like that we will write half mv square. So for proton mp vp is equal to 1.6 into 10 power minus 14. 1 by 2 mass of the proton 1.67 into 10 power minus 27 into Vp square is equal to 1.6 into 10 power minus 14. If we calculate Vp value, this is square root of 2 into 1.6 into 10 power minus 14 divided by 1.67 into 10 power minus 27. If we calculate this value, we will get this as velocity of the proton is 4.38 into 10 power 6 meter per second we will get. Okay, just do the calculation, you will get that answer. Next, for electron, they gave kinetic energy as 10 keV. Okay, so convert this. So this value 10 into 10 cube. Electron volt value 1.6 into 10 power minus 19. If we calculate this value 1.6 into 10 power minus 15 joules. This kinetic energy value we are converting into joules. This value half MeV square is equal to 1.6 into 10 power minus 15, 1 by 2 into 9.11 into 10 power minus 31 into V square. They gave mass of the electron is 9.11. So if we substitute this, then this is 1.6 into 10 power minus 15. VE is equal to square root of 2 into 1.6 into 10 power minus 15 divided by 9.11 into 10 power minus 31. If we calculate this value, 5.93 into 10 power 7 meter per second. So, velocity of the proton, how much we got? 4.38 into 10 power 6. Velocity of the electron is this one. So, it is more than that. Therefore, velocity of electron greater than velocity of the proton. One more question they asked. Find the ratio, like that they asked. Find the ratio of the velocities. So, this value VE by VP. VE value 5.93 into 10 power 7. VP value 4.38 into 10 power 6. If we calculate this value 13.5. So the ratio is 13.5. Okay. Next. See the next problem. Problem number 13. What they are asking, see. A raindrop of radius 2 mm falls from a height of 500 meter above the ground. It falls with decreasing acceleration until at half its original height, and it attains its maximum speed and moves with uniform speed thereafter. What is the work done by the gravitational force on the drop in the first and second half of its journey? What is the work done by the resistive force in the entire journey if its speed on reaching the ground is 10 meter per second? So, what is meant by terminal velocity? Let us see. What is meant by terminal velocity? For example, here one raindrop is there. This is raindrop. It is falling from some height. On the raindrop, 3 forces will act. Okay, let us assume 2 forces only. What are the forces acting on the raindrop means? Its weight will act in the downward direction. Its weight will act in the downward direction. This value is equal to m into g. Mass is equal to volume into density. So this is 4 by 3 pi r cube rho g, where capital R will be radius of that drop, rho will be density of water. Understand? This is the downward force. 2 forces will oppose the motion, will act. What are that forces means? Air will create buoyantic force that will try to oppose the motion. How much buoyantic force will be there means 4 by 3 pi r cube sigma g. Sigma means density of air. Here what is rho? Density of water. That drop is made with water. That's why rho will be density of water. sigma will be density of air. One more force will act on this. This is viscous force. Its magnitude will be 6 pi eta RV. Understanding? So when a raindrop is falling in the air, three forces will act on the drop. Weight will act in the downward direction. These two forces will try to oppose the motion. First one will be buoyantic force, next one will be viscous force. Here what will happen means, these two magnitudes are same only. 4 by 3 pi r cube, rho, g all are constants. This value is also constant. When the drop is falling down, it is coming like this, somewhere in the motion. At some position, when it is falling down, its velocity will increase. Na? So this viscous force magnitude will also increase. Point is clear? Initially, weight, let it be 15 Newton. Buoyantic force, let it be 10 Newton. Viscous force, initially it is 0 because it is freely falling. There is no velocity. Velocity will be 0. So viscous force will be 0. When it is coming down, what will happen to its velocity? Velocity will increases. So viscous force magnitude will also increases. So here viscous force is 0. Here let the viscous force is some 20 newtons. Like that gradually viscous force magnitude will increases. At some position, upward force is equal to downward force. So its value becomes at some location 40 newtons. Then downward force will be 50. Upward force is equal to 50. Therefore, net force on the drop is equal to 0. If the point is understanding, when a drop is falling in the air, three forces will act on the drop. Weight means gravitational force. It will act in the downward direction. Viscous force, buoyantic force, both will act in the upward direction. Weight, buoyantic force magnitudes won't change, but viscous force magnitude gradually increases. Therefore, what will happen when drop is at some position, net downward force is equal to upward force, net down upward force. Therefore, net force is equal to 0. When the net force is 0, from that position, this drop will move with constant velocity. Up to here, velocity will increases. When net force becomes 0, from there, drop will fall down with constant velocity. That velocity will be called as the terminal velocity. That velocity will be called as the terminal velocity. Point is understanding? So here what they are asking, a raindrop is there. Its radius, they gave it as 2 millimeter. 2 into 10 power minus 3 meter. That is its radius. Okay. It is at a height of 500 meter from the ground. It is at a height of 500 meter. Okay. Now, it is falling down when it came to half of the height. So 250 meter when it is there, it acquires terminal velocity. Okay. And it touched the ground with a velocity of 10 meter per second. Then in the first half, what is the work done by the gravitational force? In the second half, what is the work done by the gravitational force? In the same way, work done by the resistive force is how much? That is the question. So here we'll do one thing. First we will find weight of that drop, gravitational force. We find first mass. Mass is equal to volume into density. This value 4 by 3 pi r cube into rho. So 4 by 3, 3.14 pi value. This 2 into 10 power minus 3 whole cube. Density of water will be 1000 kg per meter cube. So if we calculate this value, we will get this value as 3.35 into 10 power minus 5 kg we will get. Okay, then what is the work done from here to here? This is nothing but potential energy. So, or if you find force, F is equal to m into g, 3.35 into 10 power 5 minus 5 into g value will be 9.8. If we calculate, finally this is 3.28 into 10 power minus 4 Newton. That is the gravitational force acting on the body. When it came from here to here, first half, what is the work done? So, work done by gravitational force. Work done by gravitational force in first half is equal to F into S. Force is this one, 3.28 into 10 power minus 4. First half means 250 meters. Here to here. If we calculate this value, finally we will get this value as 0.082 joules. This is the work done in the first half. Next we will calculate the work done in the second half. Work done in the second half. Force is same. Here for gravitational force will be same only. Distance is also same. So same work will be there is equal to, this will be equal to work done in first half. Work done in the second half is equal to work done in the first half. So again, this value will be 0.082 joules. One more thing what they are asking, what is the work done by the gravitational force on the drop in the first and second half of its journey? We calculated. What is the work done by the resistive force? Work done by the resistive force will calculate. For that we will calculate what is its change in Ke. Change in Ke of drop is equal to half mv square minus half mu square. Already we found the mass of that drop. half into m we will take common. This is 3.35 into 10 power minus 5. V value final velocity 10, initial velocity 0. So this value 1.675 into 10 power minus 3 joules. Okay. So we will calculate the work done by the resistive force now. Therefore, work done by resistive force is equal to change in KE minus work done by gravitational force. Change in KE value 1.675 into 10 power minus 3 minus this value 0.082. Here to here 0.082. Here to here 0.082. So this will be. So if we do this one, this is 1.675 into 10 power minus 3. We will write this like this, 164 into 10 power minus 3. If we calculate, this will be minus 162.32 into 10 power minus 3. So this will be minus 0.162 joules. Okay. This is the work done by the resistive force. Clear? Next. After finishing of this, see the 14th question. What is that 14th question? See, a molecule in a gas container hits a horizontal wall with a speed of 200 meter per second and angle 30 degrees with the normal and rebounds with the same speed. Is momentum conserved in collision? Is collision elastic or inelastic? So 14th you see, here walls of the container is there. One molecule hits the container like this and it rebounds like this. Okay. A molecule in a gas container hits the horizontal wall. It is like this then. It's the horizontal wall and it is rebounds in that manner. Okay. With a speed of at an angle 30 degrees with the normal. This is normal. This will be 30 degrees. Okay. And rebounds with the same speed. Means here 200 meter per second it hit. This angle will also be 30. It rebound with the same speed. Is momentum conserved in the collision? Yes, momentum will be conserved in any type of collision, either elastic or inelastic. Momentum will be conserved. So momentum will be conserved. Yes. momentum will be conserved. One more thing they asking. What they are asking? Is collision is elastic or inelastic? After collision, it moves with the same velocity, na? So collision will be elastic. So write down here, speed is same after rebounding from the wall. So collision is elastic. Speed will be same, collision will be elastic. Next, 15th problem you see, a pump on the ground floor of a building can pump water to fill the tank of volume 30 meter cube in 15 minutes. If the tank is 40 meter above the ground and the efficiency of the pump is 30%, how much electric power is consumed by the pump? Okay, see what they are asking. 15, pump, with the help of a pump we are filling a tank. Tank volume is how much? 30 meter cube. How much water will be required to fill the tank means how much mass of water will be there in that tank, means mass is equal to volume into density. Density value will be 1000. This value 30,000 kg. That is the mass of this much mass of water we had to fill in the tank. Okay, and tank height is 40 meter. In 15 minutes time we had to fill the tank. 15 into 60, this will be 900 seconds. Okay, and efficiency is 30%. How much power is required? Here only 30% of that efficiency we had to fill that. So we had to take 30 P by 100. Power is equal to work by time. Work may be in the form of potential energy, may be in the form of kinetic energy. Here height is given, so it is in the form of potential energy. 30 P by 100 is equal to mgh by T. M given, G constant, H given, time given. We had to calculate the P, just substitution only. So 0, 0 we can cancel. 3P by 100. M value will be 30,000. G value 9.8. H value 40. By time value will be 900. Okay, this 2 zeros, 2 zeros, 2 zeros, 2 zeros we can cancel. After calculation, finally how much we will get for this P value means P is equal to finally here after calculation 13.07 into 10 cube watt we will get. Unit of power will be watt. So this is 13.07 kilowatt. That is the answer for this 15th question.